All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. So I think it's time for us to start making a push on the blue car. We ended up stealing the header for the 351 in the black car. It's over on the lift, but we've decided to change complete turbo kits on the 351 and actually the whole car. So our whole goal this weekend is to get this thing running. We got a starter tune on it. We're ready to go. All right, so we got to the point to where we got all these little stupid header bolts in. They suck. Sometimes you got to put them in slowly, you know what I mean? Like you got to get them started and, you know, not draw them all the way up so you can get all 8 of them. But that's just the way on-3 stuff is. We're going to go ahead and start getting set up for the cross here and the turbo itself clocked properly. The nice thing about not running that other turbo kit anymore is I would be able to, I'm going to try to use this wastegate, but if I got a precision 46mm sitting right there that I can use on it if it doesn't control boost very well. We'll find out. Anyways, little by little progress. I'll show you guys a little bit of clips of what we're doing. Like right now, my man Paul over here is running the oil feed because we got the custom oil feed or the aftermarket oil feed, and we're going to hook this up as soon as I get the turbo up. All right, so we made a bit of progress here. Paul's here putting the radiator hose on, the curved one like the supercharged one has. We got the turbo mounted, the drain mounted, the feed mounted. Got the charge pipe hooked up, everything's ready to go. Got the downpipe we're about to put in. I got to finish the 3G alternator conversion. And we're getting really close to firing this thing up. I want to make little videos while I can. Show you guys some of the progress because we just want to finish this. Give me a thumbs up. Oh yes, give me a thumbs up. Yes sir. And he went in here and hooked up the oil gauge. We had to make sure we didn't make a mess in here. We still got to clean this area up in here. We'll come in here last after we get the car running or whatever. So anyways, stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna show you a 3G alternator conversion in literally 30 seconds. You got the white. This turns into your stator wire. That gets plugged into this little section over here. Come over here and show them this. Right here. Then of course the D-spade. That wire, the green and the yellow just stay, and that goes right here. And this gets chopped off, like legit. You can see how 2 makes 1. I just chop it here. And just back up a little bit. And here. And I am going to create a connection here, another 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 10 gauge. And I'm going to make a, I'm going to use these terminals here. Okay, we've been past 30 seconds. I'm going to put just a regular terminal with the extension on here. I really don't even need to extend it, but I'm not going to take a risk of it or whatever. So, does that camera actually show that far over? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a wide camera. So, this will be a 4 gauge. This will go on the same terminal this extension gets to and goes over to my coil where my starter solenoid's at. The smart thing to do is to put a fusible link in between that, but I've never had a problem, but I still probably end up doing that anyways. So anyways, that's it. All right, so I made a little more progress here. Test fitting the charge pipe, got everything hooked up with the feed. Still got to run the 4 gauge. I don't want to bore you guys with too many details, but one thing I did want to mention is I want to give a shout out to Rotella, because this is the stuff that I actually run in pretty much all my Mustangs. Is the T6 5W40. It's got like the extreme temperature bullshit, whatever. That oil's never let me down, man. I love that oil. I think it's good for when it's running through my turbo. It's good for just about anything really, but that's the oil I go to, man, and it's cheap. I mean, that 2.5 gallons is 56 bucks. It's a diesel oil, so it's 5W40. It's a little bit heavier than normal, but that's okay. That oil gets hot anyway. So got a couple other things to finish up. I'm gonna run this relay like I do my fuel pump for the fan. I have a key on ignition on over here somewhere, I'll show you guys. I know there's one right here that I could use, but you know, one of them is a Keon 12. That's what I use for my Ron Francis wiring harness for my other ones. But anyways, stay tuned. We got a couple other small things to do. We should be firing this car tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. So I don't think this thing is going to have any sort of problem starting, and my tune is good. I know it already is. So yeah, might be hitting dyno on Sunday, and we might be streaming so for the first time. So stay tuned. All right, so one of the things that we like to do is, and I've done this even on my 351, is we like to open the PCV up and let the rear of the motor breathe. So we buy these little cheap small filters, and we'll take the PCV, we'll block the PCV in the back of the intake, and then where the PC valve used to be, we'd open it up, take the ball out, and we put it on this little ass filter here. Now, one key thing about doing that is the fact that, you know, back here where your grommets at, you want to put your finger in there and make sure that there's a screen. There's like an oil screen. You know, it's like a catch can oil screen type thing. You want one of those in there too if you do this. That way oil doesn't get all down the back of your motor. And you can see I vent the oil fill, and I also, this was actually done by the previous owner. It's very smart. They made another breather on this side. So now the motor can actually vent really well and breathe. And this works really good. You know, I understand that you can do catch cans and stuff, and that's actually something you should be doing, but you know, any motor that's, you know, I don't want to say any motor that's making under 500 or whatever should just do this, but I'm going to, because my black car made 700 and I do the same thing, and I don't have any issues with crankcase pressure. So anyways, thought I'd show you guys that mod real quick. We got to figure out this belt situation, and I got to wire the 4 gauge over to the terminal. We got to do a starter wire and a couple other small things, and we'll get this thing fired. All right, so we're getting even closer. I had to make my 3G alternator wire to fit the back of the 3G, because on a 3G you got to bring a 4 gauge over. At least I always do, to help charge the battery. It connects here on that piece I made yesterday. Stator, D-plug, right here. So we just got the new starter wire in with the 2 brackets for the side of the motor. It looks really cool. Got these brackets to hook up. We got antifreeze. My man Paul's bringing antifreeze over here. Don't mind my Cobra. Well, that's not a Cobra. That's just a parts card. We gotta put antifreeze in. We gotta hook this up, and I gotta prime the motor because it's full of oil. So I gotta prime it. Priming is really important, in my opinion, because you know you don't want to screw something up. You know, you don't want to dry fire. So, anyways, stay tuned. We're gonna continue. I'm gonna continue making little short clips. We finally got the belt on. 65-inch belt. This is a 5-inch pulley, and then I got one of them little baby underdrive pulleys, but I should be okay with charging with this size pulley here. See how close it come to this. I was kind of hoping to have it more over here, about a half an inch or more, but that did not happen. So, all right. All right, so we're about to prime the motor, and what some of you might not know is there's a priming tool that's kind of neat. Goes on the end of a drill. And it fits up in your distributor. You probably can't see it because it's bad lighting or whatever, but fits up in your distributor thing, your oil pump drive shaft. So you can see here, see I already got it connected. It's kind of hard to see. I'm gonna keep sliding on this damn carpet or whatever, cardboard. But you can see it here. You know, it connects to this, and you got to go counterclockwise, because if you don't go counterclockwise, then you know, your oil's not going to go right. So my man Paul is going to watch the gauge while I prime it. So let me get started here. Let me set you down for a second, and I will show you guys about how I do it. Here we go. So we'll pull it back out. I had to pull the distributor out anyways because I want to change this heat gauge. Counterclockwise, not clockwise, because your distributor spins counterclockwise. Okay, here we go. You ready, Paul? Yes. can see the oil now. What is it?
It's at 50.
Okay. And you can see the oil on my tube. I don't see anything leaking. So here we go. Come out here, run the drill. Pretty cool. Now, he's gonna do it for about another 10 seconds or so. Go ahead. You're gonna do it for about another 10 seconds, and then I'll be happy with the amount of oil that's been through my motor. So now it won't be a dry fire. We'll finish a couple other things up, and it'll be like the car had just been ran, and it'll be happy, and it won't, you know, it'll pump the lifters up, and we will be ready to hit the dyno tomorrow, maybe. Question mark, question mark. All right, so let me get this camera straight. We got what I think is everything hooked up, minus the relay and the radiator. We need a new radiator cap because this one sucks. But we have to pressurize the system anyways. So I hooked this up temporarily because I'm waiting for a relay to come in, and I'm going to set this up like I do my fuel pumps. We got a little vacuum we got to plug out right here, but my man Paul's getting the timing light ready. I think we're ready to fire. This will be the first fire of this combo. I want to make sure my chip and stuff's in my computer, and then we'll give it a shot. How about that? Booyah! I guess we'll be hooking that fan up today, huh? Well, I will at least. All right, Paul. Let's get some juice.
I know. Plug that.
I know. I'm getting excited. Number one. I gotta have my. I'm not gonna fire it with the spout. I'm gonna fire it with the spout in to see if it actually fires, and then we will take the spout out if it's running good, and I will shoot quick timing mark on it and be done. Gotta set it to 10 degrees, peeps. The tunes call for 10 degrees, and you build base timing. One more time. aside the fact that it needs to be tuned. As soon as I got into some boost, it went kind of stupid on me. But yeah, we'll get her figured out. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can see just from the thumbnail that I probably made, that you know, we're ready for the dyno. It's alive. We just finished up. I had a couple small things, little wiring issue with the GT front headlights, taillights, fog lights, whatever. And we cleaned that up. Right now I'm looking for a little cap for this because it doesn't use the screw on one, it's just the cap. I just ended up doing a fan relay setup here. It's had an aftermarket, what I think is a Black Magic fan. So power, ground, switch, and ground. Looks kind of like a mess, but it's really kind of cool. It's a 40 amp relay. Turns key on, you know, you got the relay working, everything works good. I sourced the signal wire to the fuse box that never gets used. And that is my signal wire. This carries no load, just like my pump. It comes up into 10 gauges, so, you know, fan has plenty of power. I've hooked my dad's car up like this, the 88, and multiple cars up, never had a problem even with contours. So she's ready to go, guys. You see it. Tune is just a startup tune. We actually took it around the block a couple times. It seemed pretty good, shifted good. And dude, we are ready for the dyno, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and we are going to be streaming the dyno most likely. I want to get this car done and kind of maybe race worthy or road worthy so I can get to that again with my white car. So anyways, I will see you guys soon. I'm not going to hit you with any cinematic stuff. Just going to say have a good weekend.